You doing okay, Jerry? You feel okay? You all right?
I do feel good. I know I'm tearing up a little more often than usual lately. But
what was that about the other day? You did tear up at the introduction.
Boy, that surprised me. And someone said, well, maybe you are tired. But candidly, it meant a lot to me that our fans basically, that I said how much it meant to get the job right and to get us a coach in here. The respect I have for coaching, it's been skewed from that perspective. I'm from the old school, and if the coach said hit the wall, you hit it until he said stop, if you had anything left in you. And so I really wanted our fans to know how important that the head coach is, how important it is that he not be undermined, how important he is that he can do the things that we all want our head coach to do, and that was important for
me.
Well,
those are the questions, and I've raised a lot of them. I've been hard on you lately. You might have heard about some of it.
I watched
it. Am I wrong?
I think you are, yes, and here's why. I think that it's important to have as many people aligned to get a job done as you can, and anytime that you have ownership in pro football, it's naive, and you don't understand pro sports to think that they're not involved and impact the direction of a team. There seems to be a real need to have a totally independent, in-between general manager, if you will, between the ownership and the coach. Well, the facts are that the general manager keeps me from being a meddling owner. And what I really think is important is that I have the knowledge and spend the time that I do, because we don't have a lot of debate between the GM and the owner here, and that I've spent and invested the time to get as knowledgeable as I can. Now, let me just say this. We have not had the success over the last 10 years that I could have ever imagined, the lack of success. 40% of that time, Bill Parcells was the coach. 40% of the time, Dave Campo was the coach. 20% of the time, Chan Gailey. Chan Gailey actually had us in the playoffs the only 2 years he was here. The thing there is that we're not reluctant to try to go down a path that can get us to the Super Bowl. I know that we hear a lot about having not made it to the playoffs. The only thing that really counts is if we can get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. And so I take, in my decision making, I basically take risks. And those risks can sometimes mean that you might have a team that doesn't get to the playoffs, but in my mind it gives us the best chance to ultimately get to and win a Super Bowl.
All right, but when you talk about the lack of success over the last 10 years, 5 different head coaches in this 10-year period, 8 quarterbacks in this 10-year period, and you look at your performance as a general manager, do you think there's an NFL team that would hire you as a general manager if you didn't bring your checkbook with you?
I do. And the reason is that as a general manager, I can make risky decisions, and I can go for it. And if they don't work out, then basically there's no finger pointing, there's no excuse making. You basically step up and say, if we're going to change things, we've got to change the way we're doing it. And the big thing is that if you look at my track record over the last 10 years, you will see those changes being made and my willingness to make those changes.
Well, I've never questioned your willingness to make the changes, but I think I asked you this once before, and I ask you this again. If you bought the team today, based on the number of coaches, the number of quarterbacks, and the lack of a single playoff win in this 10-year period, if you bought the team today, wouldn't the first thing you'd do would be to fire the general manager?
No, not if that general manager were an individual that you knew that was going to basically make the kinds of decision and take the kinds of risk and do the kinds of things that ultimately could get you to a Super Bowl. Not just get you to a playoff, but get you to a Super Bowl. That's what it's all about. There's no in-between. There's no joy in Mudville to win 2 games in the playoffs. It's winning a Super Bowl. That's the goal.